There are 3 keys that you need to know about histamine intolerances in order to help with them. 1, the reason that you have a DAO enzyme deficiency is because your mucosal barrier in the small intestine has been damaged or weakened. When your small intestine's mucosal barrier, which is part of your gut barrier, has been weakened, it does not produce DAO enzymes like it's supposed to. So the first part, or the first key to addressing histamine intolerances to help improve your DAO enzyme production is to strengthen and build and help repair the mucosal barrier in the small intestine. Number 2, there's a reason that your mucosal barrier in the small intestine is damaged. It's because of an overgrowth of something, candida or bad bacteria, or something is damaging it, okay? So the second key to addressing histamine intolerances is to go in and address what's causing the issue in the first place. Number 3, those issues that are most likely damaging your mucosal barrier are also most likely histamine superproducers. So there are bacteria type like Klebsiella, that's with a K, not a C, Klebsiella, that are histamine superproducers. There are bad bacteria types that produce a crazy amount of histamine. So you want to target those. So once again, build a mucosal barrier in the small intestine. You want to address the imbalances that are tearing up the mucosal barrier in the small intestine. And 3, you want to address the bacteria types that are histamine superproducers, okay? A lot of the time people see our protocols and they'll say, but I don't have reflux and I don't have constipation. All our protocols are built to help with histamine intolerances. We do take a top-down approach. We do not like to spot help with issues. It does not work, people. It does not work. So if you see a protocol from us and you're like, well, I have histamine intolerances, I don't have reflux or constipation issues, be mindful the ingredients and products serve multiple functions. Every time we're addressing a gut health issue, we're addressing imbalances, the gut barrier, inflammatory problems, and an immune system. So a lot of people, when they have autoimmune issues, they have an overreactive immune system. So the answer to that is to decrease immune activation. It's to help things settle down. Protocols are built for that. Be mindful, like, so if I were to say, if people say, so what ingredients specifically? I'm going to focus on ingredients because I can't say products. Mucosal is an ingredient we like a lot. I would strongly suggest applying it up above the small intestine, but you can also take it in a capsule form if you just want to hit the small intestine. Mucosal is a really, really, really good ingredient for the mucosal barrier. Think about it. Mucosal, mucosal barrier. What do you think it does, folks? It helps with the mucosal barrier. I would be trying to take roughly 800 milligrams to 1200 milligrams per day for about 90 days in order to really help with the mucosal barrier. There are 2 ingredients that we really, really like for helping address imbalances in the gut that may be the cause for damaging the mucosal barrier in the small intestine and may be responsible for superproduction of histamine. One is immunoglobulins. Immunoglobulins are a binder. They bind to the bad stuff in your gut. They collect it all up, kind of like they bind to candida. They bind to H. pylori if you take them in a powder form and drink them, because H. pylori is mostly in the upper stomach. They're really good for binding E. coli and Klebsiella and stuff like that. So the immunoglobulins at the right dosing is very, very important for histamine intolerances. Number 3, frequency activated nano AG404. This is really good for an aggressive action of I'm gonna say disassembling the bad stuff in your stomach that you do not want there. It is a very strong ingredient. Do not just load up on that ingredient. It is something that we like a lot. You can start taking it in motility protocols at the beginning, but it's something you want to ease into it. But nonetheless, those are the 3 ingredients we really, really like for helping with histamine intolerances. As I mentioned, our protocols are built to help with the mucosal barrier. A lot of people say the gut barrier, leaky gut, and I think most of them are just thinking the epithelial layer or the epithelial barrier. We like to do things, if at all possible, completely and try to address the whole picture. The cool thing is once the underlying issues are helped, your problems go down dramatically. So the same protocol that helps with histamine would be helpful for histamine intolerances, help with a whole variety of issues. The protocols are meant to hit all sorts of problems because most likely if you have histamine intolerances, you have something else going on. I hope this helps. Thank you. Bye.